You probably don't need me to tell you, but CityPlace in Burlington is basically on hold. Construction is not even planned to restart anytime soon. Well, I sat down with Mayor Miro Weinberger about this very topic. You've gone back and forth on whether you're optimistic that this project gets off the ground, moves forward. So where are you right now?
Let me be clear. From a big picture, what we have there now, this site that is, a construction site, I'm very optimistic that is not going to be a kind of permanent condition in downtown Burlington.
For how long could it be there, though?
So, the disappointing thing about the news in July is that there is going to be an extended, further delay with that. We were hopeful. We were on the cusp of construction. It's clear now that we're not. Brookfield announced that they are kind of going back to the drawing board and looking at some significant redesign of the new construction there, and that is disappointing. I think we should keep that. We should keep this in perspective. However, I think there's a lot to continue to be, pretty bullish about with this project. First of all, Brookfield restated, committed again publicly that they believe in Burlington and they will bring about a transformational project, not just on the construction site as we know it today, but from kind of holistically across all the properties that they now own. So from Macy's to Church Street, they are committed to a transformational project. When a $300 billion company, one of the largest real estate development companies in the world, very experienced, very well capitalized, says that, it is a meaningful commitment. And I can tell you kind of behind the scenes, week to week, they are taking the actions, putting in the effort and design and planning work.
Is the communication better that you're having with them or the council's having with them?
So yes, the other kind of, I think, significant good news in that July announcement is that Brookfield, this company that I was just describing, is now firmly in control of all aspects of the development. They are now the lead of this project, and that is something that was not finalized until quite recently. And I do think that they have shown themselves to be committed to being a good partner, and they've been backing up their communication has been better. They also have been demonstrating in a lot of ways that they're continuing to put substantial resources into planning and design efforts here. Another thing I think, just to keep this in perspective, is while certainly this delay I think is very costly to the developer, and certainly there has been quite a bit of money expended on the site, I think what's important for people to remember is the city is not taking any construction or development risk. The money that has been spent taking down the building, working on that site, has not been spent by the city. It's been spent by the developer. This is in large part a private development using private capital, and we need a strong private partner if we're going to get to the goals that the public has laid out, that we've been working towards here. The city is not at financial risk. The city has not been spending the money that has been invested in that site. Another thing I think kind of to keep in perspective is what I mentioned before. The downtown remains strong. If you think about it, this has been a problematic part of the downtown for a long time. It is that, and I think what is clear to me is if you compare where we are now versus where we are 2 years ago, I think we are much closer to getting where we want to be in that part of the downtown than we were with that building still standing. If the mall had remained up, it may have continued to limp along, weakening, but standing for a long period of time. Now, the developer is committed. The building is down. They can't go back. And we are much closer to getting those streets back, to getting the kind of mixed-use, vibrant neighborhood that we want there than we've been in decades, really.
It is an eyesore, however. 7 Days, I think, called it this week a big, sad, empty pit, using the hashtag #PitHappensBTV. When you hear that, how does that make you feel? I mean, people have compared Burlington to Newport, the hole in the ground in Newport, because of the EB5 issue. How does that make you feel?
I think the comparison to Newport is not a good one. In going back to what what I was saying before, like everyone agrees, this is a highly developable site. This is a site that is one of the most desirable development sites in all of New England. It is not going to stay like it is long, again, the downtown remains strong. The city taxpayers
These
are
names
protected.
don't bother you?
I understand the comparisons and why, but I am again confident that there's a lot to be optimistic and bullish about here. You have Brookfield reaffirming their commitment to make a transformational investment. You have a lot of work going on to move us forward. And yes, it's disappointing there's going to be some additional delay, but the downtown remains strong and we're going to get through this.
When we come back, the mayor is joined by the new director of the Community and Economic Development Office. We'll be right back.